standing tonight. I won't be alone. To know that don't mean I'm not lonely. I got nothing to prove but you that I died a different.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue the third round action that's coming to you from Copenhagen, where it's time to meet the players. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the machine, James Wade! Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the rock star, Joe Cullen!
Third match of the day on the final day of the inaugural Danish Darts Open here in Copenhagen. And it's been a while since these two last met, over 2 years in fact. But when they did at the German Darts Masters in 2016, Joe Cullen not only won, but he went on to beat Gary Anderson 6-0, and he went on to reach a maiden European Tour semi-final, all as a qualifier. And maybe, just maybe, that's the sort of omen that Joe Cullen needs to embellish and go along with his obvious talent to perhaps enhance his credentials as far as winning this title is concerned. Furthermore, Joe Cullen was brilliant yesterday, a 106 average against Maras Razmet, to see off the Latvian by 6 legs to 3, 6 from 10 on his doubles as well. His finishing was pretty spot on too. But that said, James Wade is James Wade, and James Wade has won their other 6 meetings. So, Dan Dawson, read into that what you will.
Well, it is difficult because it is a couple of years since they've met. Notice that the annoyingly useful Tool has made a debut on stage today. Kirk Bevins producing his spirit level to make sure that the board is correctly aligned for this one.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about Bevins full stop.
I would not dare make such a suggestion. But that has made an appearance a number of times this weekend.
Joe to throw first. Game on.
Joe Cullen gets us underway. Cullen believes that anything less than a quarter-final on these Euro Tours is a failure. There haven't been many failures this year for Joe Cullen. Not on the Euro Tour. Is the rest of the Pro Tour been pretty poor by his own standards, by his own admission.
Well, he said yesterday on stage to your good self, he said, you know, the European Tour this year has saved me. It saved my season. Because there's not been a great deal to get excited about for Joe Cullen as far as the domestic stuff is concerned. But this is a really good opportunity for Joe Cullen. Okay, he's up against a really, well, tough opponent and a very decorated opponent as well. And furthermore, there is the prospect of Adrian Lewis or Stephen Bunting to meet in the quarter-final as well. But it's one game at a time for either of these two.
100.
Well, James Wade has looked likely to add another title to his collection this year. He looked like he was going to do it on the Euro Tour, first couple of them.
58.
Beaten semi-finalist to Peter Wright on both occasions, and you know, it could happen again. Peter Wright is on course for a meeting with one of these in the semi-finals if they get that far. However, Snakebite has got a very tricky game in Mensur Suljovic. And he doesn't have a great record of late against Mensur.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Mensur's just beaten Darren Webster 6-5 with an average of almost 99. There was a brilliant check out of 1-2-3 that really got the Suljovic game plan moving again after a succession of breaks of throw. And Darren Webster once again proving that this weekend, if you want to go far in this tournament, or if you want to make the latter stages, don't hit back-to-back 180s. Reyes did it, Michael Smith did it, and Darren Webster did it, and they've all been knocked out, and Joe Cullen takes the opener.
I mean, he could hit back-to-back 180s and then take out the 141. That'd be a start.
$134. $140.
Much water has passed under the bridge, though, since these two last met at the German Darts Masters, with Cullen coming into this tournament as the number 7 seed.
60.
James Wade, as you see there, with the number 10 in the bracket. James Wade, the higher of the two as far as the
97.
overall order of merit, the overall world ranking is concerned.
$81.
Well,
and also, might I add, the grandfather to be is also here as well.
What T-shirt's he got on?
Grandfather to be.
Oh, right. That'd be the clue then.
That was the clue. Plus, he's much older, and he's with them. Although not in that shot. He must have nipped out momentarily. Baby on board. Wonder how soon that was.
120.
Wow.
I should have said.
114.
James Wade's about to become a dad for the first time. Don't think Sammy's here this weekend.
The offspring of the machine. What would you call that?
6.
A gizmo of some sort?
Bangs double two.
The leg is Joe to throw first. Game on.
Oh, congratulations to the pair of you.
58.
James Wade struggled to kill off Rusty Jake Rodriguez in his opening game of this weekend. He won it 6-4 and he was 10 points clear in the averages, but
134.
Rusty was keeping pace with him for large portions of the game.
Yeah, and he missed a dart at double 4 for a 5-4 lead as well, did Rusty.
100.
Whereas Joe Cullen, I mean, he did lose 3 legs to Matters Razma. He played pretty well, but Joe was just irresistible. And he has games like that.
83.
And the real frustration for Joe is that he's not managed to have game after game after game like that on a Euro Tour weekend. He'll be brilliant and look like he's in title winning form, and then it just suddenly stops.
140.
But he's made so many semi-finals of these tournaments. You just think at some point it's going to happen. He's going to make a final.
140.
He may then have to play out of his skin to go and win it, but he could do it.
Well, you mentioned about how he's disappointed if he doesn't make the last 8. He has made the quarterfinals, or he did make the quarterfinals in 7 successive European Tour events, but that sequence was ended by a second round defeat in Zwolle. By Jermaine Watermainer, and he's been attacked.
That will knock you out of your rhythm, but it won't matter. It will not matter.
No flies on Joe Cullen. 2-1 he leads. Yeah, he had that second round defeat by Watermainer, lost in the 3rd round to Nicholson in Gibraltar. By 6 legs to 5, he was bitterly frustrated after that one.
93.
But 1 semi-final and 4 quarter-finals on the Euro Tour this year. The semi-final was in Austria, where he lost to Gerwin Price, and he had his chances in that one. I think I really do think, had he come through that semi-final against Gerwyn Price, Clayton was there for the taking. Not to take anything away from what Johnny did there. He is grandad to be, with the beard. Finally, 180 for Joe Cullen. This is on the Wade throw.
134.
Treble 19 now. Oh, he went the ball.
170.
Fair enough.
194.
170, not to be sniffed at. Could go double-double. Yeah, he didn't really give it the full gun. It was a bit spongy, that effort at double 18, wasn't it?
11 double 10, James Wade. Almost as sure as night follows day, James Wade levels things up at 2 apiece after Cullen missed his opportunity.
140.
Just displaying the value of great approach play by James Wade there.
.57.
Well, Cullen pretty much not quite the levels we saw yesterday, but he's around about that 100 average, and
48.
It's an encouraging start from him. But again, it almost feels inevitable that Joe at some point is going to stop playing world-class darts on these weekends. That's the real frustration, because we've seen him win on the Pro Tour. He's won a couple of Pro Tour titles.
42.
He's fantastic on the stage. He's got a demeanour, a presence. It seems to bring out some excellent stuff from him. And it's just translating that into consistent displays over the entire weekend on these Euro Tours. I mean, he's going to get enough chances. He's number 7 seed, as you mentioned.
104. 164.
And he's not averse to a big finish, Joe Cullen. Treble 20, treble 19 ball.
41.
That is not a great setup shot from James Wade. Could have been a lot better. So maybe Cullen will get another visit.
Well, Mensah took out the 1-2-3.
James Wade, 123.
Is it easy as 1-2-3 for James Wade? No, because he misses the treble 19, but he's got an opportunity now with treble 18 for the bullseye, but it's not to be.
55.
Treble 13 will probably be the shot here for Joe. Ew, I don't like that. Has to be 15s. Now double 10.
61.
Yeah, just a little anguish on the face of Joe Cullen, because he knows that James Wade is more than capable of hoovering this one up. 68 points away for James Wade for a break of throw.
28.
How did that happen? Asked James Wade.
He was a long way away from that treble 16. A very un-Wadey-like effort.
Double 4, Joe Cullen loves it. Loves it.
Yeah.
Is he still the most prolific player on double 4 in the world?
Well, I think he was until we started mentioning it, and then he started missing it all the time. And we have a break of throw in this one, and it goes to the machine.
James to throw first. Game on.
Well, Joe Cullen was 2 from 2, but his perfect record on doubles is no more. 2 from 5. After that fifth leg, which culminated in a break of throw for James Wade.
.51.
And no pressure either applied from the word go in this one, and James Wade can just perhaps put his foot on the gas here. Yes, he can. Ton 40, ton 80 for James Wade as he looks to consolidate that break of throw. Cullen still fighting though.
2 apiece in terms of the maximums. Winner of this faces Bunting or Lewis. Now, if it was a Wade-Lewis game, we had one of those last weekend, and it was
a belter.
Oh, it was a beaut.
121. JJ 122.
That is really frustrating. Even a single 20 would have made that check out a lot easier when Joe Cullen returns to the board. If Joe Cullen returns to the board. And Joe Cullen will not return to the board in this leg. 122 check out on the bullseye. Some prime wading going on here in Copenhagen.
96.
Yeah, Wade and Lewis average 105 plus in their clash in Gibraltar, with Wade taking out very wadey finishers, Adrian Lewis smashing in the high scores.
60.
It was two players doing what made them famous right the way through.
96.
World-class displays from the pair of them. But the very nature of this game means only one can progress to the next round. It was, of course, Adrian Lewis who went on to make the final.
Yeah, and one of the features, we mentioned it in commentary as well, was the number of times that Lewis almost pulled off some really big finishes, three-figure finishes. Took out some fairly hefty two-figure finishes, including the 86 that got him over the line with Wade on 32, waiting in the wings. It was a classic.
Oh.
123.
He filled it up, he would have left to finish.
$98.
Didn't like that one either.
58. They require 152.
Well, he's left himself a finish this time. It's a big one. But Joe Cullen will not be taking out the 152.
94. They require 160.
Now then, James Wade, what have you got here?
Not
Just
enough.
Below, not there, James.
60. They require 58.
And the gap is cut to just the one leg again.
James to throw first. Game on.
James Wade very good at just raising the intensity levels, winning important legs, putting in important visits when he needs them.
Yeah, he's very good at just soaking up pressure, withstanding pressure, and then just coming good again when there are signs of life from his opponent.
131.
But he's only started off with 60 here.
Yeah, but he's focusing again now, isn't he? And he gets tongue forward to get him back. Not in control of this leg, but just with his nose in front. Cullen is being forced to go into overdrive.
140.
$131, 140 for Joe.
100.
And he has a chance. Especially if he goes big here. Timely stuff from Joe Cullen.
Well, he's hit 3 180s now, Joe Cullen. They have all come against the Wade throw, but in every single case he has been unable to break. This is the best chance he's had.
Double 16.
Yeah,
and Joe Cullen raced back.
I think it's Joe to throw first.
And that was all about timing again. An 11 dart breaker throw for Joe Cullen
57.
to get his campaign back on track at 4 apiece.
And immediately he's going to be put under pressure again.
Because 57 is met by the 180, and that is just typical of James Wade.
100.
We have got a game on here.
Yeah, the crowd are warming up into this one now. They're really enjoying it now.
100.
Block a dart.
58.
Well, it's a shame that for Joe, because he got himself into a good position on his throw, but Wade looking to fight back.
90.
Well, a couple of times Joe Cullen has had his rhythm interrupted. I don't know if that was an insect again, but it's not bothered him. He took out a bullseye finish earlier on. And he's planted 2 in the 57 there, despite his rhythm being interrupted. And it's one of the strong points of his game, the rhythm. Same amount of attention given to every single dart that allows him to do things like that.
So I think it's James to throw first. Game on.
James Wade on the brink.
26.
Well, he had visits of 57 and 58 in that leg, did Joe Cullen, but he still came through.
137.
Well, once again, Joe Cullen, really, really impressive. Put under pressure by an all-time great of the game, and he raised his level. He found 11 darts at the break. He's backed it up with a 14-dart hold, and he's in charge of this leg here. He's stolen the darts. He's at 5 out of 8 on his doubles. He's averaging up towards the 100 mark again. Look at that. Really, really good from Joe Cullen once again. And he has backed up his superb opening match with another very strong display. And if he can get over the line, he's in the final session once more on the European Tour, and he's got himself another opportunity.
And look at that for a potential setup as well, should he decide to go that way. Let's see what Wade can post here. It may well have a big bearing on Joe Cullen's next move.
105. You require 170.
170 plays, 170. We'll never know. But that will do very nicely indeed.
170.
Wade cannot take it out, and he is relying on Cullen missing match darts, and it could be yet another Euro Tour weekend where James Wade has been undone by a fabulous display, and that's exactly what's happened.
And Joe Cullen wraps up a 6-4 win, and just remember, when he beat James Wade in the German Darts Masters 2 years ago as a qualifier, he went all the way to the semi-finals, his maiden European Tour semi-final, and having overcome James Wade here with a very stylish display, who knows how far Joe Cullen might well go this weekend in Denmark. And look at the averages, 99.94 for Joe Cullen, 6 from 9 on his doubles. Much to admire about the way Joe Cullen went about his business there. He was 4-2 down, but 4 legs on the bounce have seen Joe Cullen through to the quarterfinals, where he will face the winner of our next match between Adrian Lewis and Stephen Bunting. Let's grab a quick word with Joe right now.
Joe, congratulations. You're being put under pressure by an all-time great there, and you managed to raise your level to take it at the end.
Yeah, just when James went in front, I didn't think he deserved to be in front, but that's what James does. He's one of them. If he's got like anywhere between 100 to 120, you've sort of resigned yourself to losing the leg. That's what he's built his legacy over for the last probably 10 years, but yeah, he's a great player. I'm happy to get the win.
You are into the final session once again on the European Tour. You've been here many, many times before. What have you learnt from all the previous times that you've been there?
No, obviously the crowd just see the darts, but it's difficult now because you don't know whether to sort of stay at the venue, you don't know whether to go back. It's hard, the gap in between, obviously, to get yourself back up for the next game, but like I say, I'm sure I'll be fine, and whoever I've got next, not even sure who I've got next, but they're getting it as well.
We'll go and watch the football. England are 2-0 up, by the way.
Oh, are they really? I'm a Denmark fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rock star Joe Cullen through to the quarter-finals.